Switch it up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Welcome to... Oh, fuck. I was going to do... I used to do the radio show. I was going to do the radio show.
Plus, you do realise the word welcome has an L in it. You welcome!
That's a Kiwi welcome. Oh, welcome home.
Welcome, fucking terrifying.
Oh.
Don't ask me how this is getting out there on
What
the
happened?
radio
Couldn't
waves.
get the dough in Aussie. Now you're back.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
welcome home. Okay. Because, okay.
And
What's
we
this
do
called?
no
Before you
edits,
jump.
raw.
Yeah.
Before, they ask what the podcast is called? Like,
No, because I was going to go...
what were you going to say?
Welcome to Having a Laugh with Nathan and Dylan.
Yeah, the radio, it was Access Radio, eh?
Yeah. And then Nathan would be like, I'm Nathan Cross. I'm like, I'm Dylan Stewart.
It got to the point where you guys were like, oh shit, we got to record
Yeah,
this
that's
week.
what it was like.
I remember like witnessing that conversation between you two where you're like, when will this end? I'm like, that sounds like a lot of fun. And you guys were like, no.
It was fun. Like, I loved doing it, but I hated the format we had to... I mean, the show never really had a format. I just hated we had a schedule. So, for starters, like...
Is that because it was at Access?
Yeah, so if we couldn't record, we had to put something in. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of...
so you're bind. It's like you're bind by material. Output.
Yeah, like if you really couldn't record, they would just replay an episode. It was no big deal. But like you had to have your episode in by a certain time, and had to have certain things.
And what was the frequency of you guys? How often would you?
It was once a week. And the other thing was it had to be exactly 27 minutes.
What?
Yeah, 27 minutes exact. It could be like 10 seconds over either way, but it had to be 27 minutes.
So it couldn't even be like 25 minutes. You couldn't go under.
You'd have to make up 2 minutes.
Is there? It had to be 27 minutes,
27
and it had to be like every week.
Every week.
Because even you and I, when we started this, like we'll do this every Monday, but then life gets in the way.
Oh, we just do
and
it
we're
when we do.
flexible.
Yeah.
But having a gun to, like, not a gun to head, but
Yeah, it's Access Radio. They're like,
yeah, man.
Schnell!
Do you know the AM is on the come up?
Yeah.
You ride that wave.
We're
like,
coming back.
But how long were you doing that radio show for?
And we did it for over a year.
Yeah, because so
It was fun. Like, we had fun doing it. We just hated because we would get on a roll, and then Nathan would be like, we would use hand signals, and he'd be like, wrap it up.
you got 27 on the dot, like
Yeah, because we'd be at like 24 minutes and hadn't really done anything. Like, we hadn't covered what we were meant to cover.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. So he'd be like, wrap it up. And I'd be like, oh, fuck.
And what was the radio show called?
Having a laugh.
Yeah, having a laugh, man.
Yeah. Having a laugh with Nathan Dillon.
We could so now, like, this is probably the longest intro ever. Do you want to bring us in?
Okay, let's go. Welcome to Before You Jump with, I'm Dylan Stewart.
My name's Kels.
And welcome to the show. This show is all about mental health, and you may have noticed that there hasn't been an episode for about a week and a half, I think, for one very good reason, which is I have been disabilitated by illness.
Nice word, sorry.
Yeah, I was struck with an illness that put me in hospital for almost a solid week.
Was it the assless, like, gowns that you had to wear? You know, those...
I did wear two of them.
Two of them at the same time to cover all the...
No, because I didn't have one big enough, so I had to... No, the first full day I was in, they made me wear one to go get an ultrasound.
Yep.
And then I wore that for overnight, and then the next day they said, do you want to have a shower? And they gave me a gown, another one.
Right.
But that wasn't Backless, that was actually a full gown. And I wore that, but it was really hot because they don't breathe. And so I'm like, oh, is there another Backless one? Because this sucks. And they're like, do you have any other clothes? I was like, yeah, I got heaps of clothes. And they're like, why don't you just wear that? I was like, can I do that?
Is that an option?
Yeah, I
walk
thought it was like
around
prison.
with an assless, backless, assless, breezy gown, half gown. Then
Oh,
you
the
give me
breeze
this-
was lovely.
Then the non-breathable full gown.
Yeah,
When the whole time I could have been wearing t-shirt and...
t-shirt and shorts. And that's what I wore the rest of the time. So
you guys knew that I didn't know.
yeah, they knew. They knew I was a hospital newbie, which I'm not a hospital newbie, but I was. It's been a long time.
I could tell it's been a long time because you're getting cagey by day 2. You're like, I think it was a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yourself and another friend of ours who I swore that I wasn't going to mention.
Yeah,
A good friend of ours. We were talking on a Thursday morning.
yeah,
And I was like, free my nigga Dilly.
yeah.
Like, and then we were kind of hoping, expecting, and then you got the news you weren't.
We weren't going home that day.
So, like, it would be there'll be a Thursday night
And I went home Friday.
But during that day on Thursday, you're like, bro, I want
yeah.
out.
Because they weren't doing anything.
They're just as obs.
Yeah.
They're
Okay. So if you're listening and you're wondering, I had pancreatitis, which is, if you don't know what your pancreas is, which I didn't, I thought it was part
I hope you know now.
Oh, fuck, do I?
Yeah.
I thought it was part of your asshole, to be honest.
No.
What do I know about pancreases?
Pancreas.
It's not a cut of meat I eat, you know what I mean?
No,
So
no.
I wasn't like,
I guess
you're like, there's something wrong with you. I was like, is it my back strap? Yeah.
Steak, kidney, and
Yeah.
pancreas pie?
Is it the rump?
Pork and pancreas, mate.
Yeah.
I'm a pork and pancreas kind of guy.
So your pancreas sits above your stomach and it creates all the acids that go into your stomach to break down your foods. It also controls your insulin.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's the key,
Do you have
yeah.
diabetes in your family?
Yes, but I don't have diabetes. Which
That's
they
good, but
thoroughly
this is-
cheat every 2 hours.
But I hope it's a bit of a warning sign. I mean, we're sitting here drinking no sugar LMP, so I guess you're
Yeah.
somewhat mindful, but
Yeah. So,
that's
so no, I've never had diabetes. I've always had really good blood sugar levels.
this came from out of nowhere then.
Yeah, so there's three things that cause it. So one is your gallbladder, or has a gallstone in it, and if it's blocking it, it'll block the pancreas, and then what happens is the acid in your pancreas can't get out, and it starts dissolving itself.
Right.
Two is alcohol. Too much alcohol causes it. Now, I'm not a big drinker.
I feel like we don't do that enough, so
No,
what's the third option?
Third option is just a question mark. They literally don't know.
Just a random
If it's not those two things, it's a random act. It just went wrong. And that's what happened to me.
That took me back when I was like, where did this come from? Like, what was it like when going from I don't feel good to no, I need to go to the hospital? Like,
Oh,
what was
okay.
what?
So that started days beforehand.
Right.
So what happened is, so on the Wednesday before, so I went to hospital on Sunday. So on the Wednesday before, I did Fresh and Funny, right? So I did stand up.
Fresh and Funny is the name of our local
Open mic. I did an open mic and I crushed it. And
yeah,
I did.
I didn't even argue. I'm like, yeah.
and I was cool, no problems. Thursday I woke up and I had a really bad migraine, and I felt off. You know how sometimes your body feels
It's
off.
a bit deeper than the migraine. You don't really know what. It's
Yep.
just you're not.
I put it down to the migraine.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I was working from home, so I didn't think anything of it, and I carried on working. So Friday the headache was like dissipating, but still there. But my body just felt really weird. Like my head was foggy. I couldn't, I wasn't comfortable.
Irritable,
upset stomach.
ADD, like you can't really focus on anything. For
Yeah,
long.
like I really struggled.
Unmotivated.
I thought I had COVID. So on Thursday, on Friday morning, Jen went to speech therapy for Brecon.
Yeah.
And I messaged her and said, I still feel really stink, like I feel real sick. I'm reading the symptoms of COVID and I think I've caught COVID. Can you please pick up some tests? I've ordered them, blah, blah, blah. So she came home at noon and I did a test and it was negative, right? And then she said, yeah, but if Wednesday was day one, you might not get a positive till...
At very least 48 hours before any signs.
Yeah, she said it's only Friday.
Yeah.
So do another one on Sunday and that will determine what you're doing.
Okay.
So on Saturday I was meant to go to our mate Nathan's housewarming and I had to cancel that because I was like, bro, I can't come. I'm really crook. You know what I mean? Mm. And then on Saturday I didn't have a headache anymore, but I still felt really strange. But I still ate fine and drank fine and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I had a bit of diarrhea. I had a bit of diarrhea.
Nausea and feeling like my throat yuppie.
A little bit of that, but nothing to stop me from eating because I'm fat.
Not enough, eh?
Not enough. No, I've got to be power chucking to be like, ooh, some very good chips.
Some pie that was unchewed.
Yeah.
Recyclable food.
What you eating, kid? Just some more chicken. You gonna finish that?
Who are you?
So Sunday I was like, oh, I don't feel good, but I wasn't in pain or anything. So.
What was the turning point?
Oh no, sorry, that was Saturday. So Sunday I slept in till 10 o'clock. And I woke up and my son was next to me and he also slept in, which was really rare for him to sleep that long. And it felt like he'd kicked me in the stomach. That's what it felt like.
So you woke up to that feeling?
I felt like Austin had started doing a stunner but got halfway through and was like, my bad. Do you know what I mean? He kicked me in the guts. But then I'm like, it can't have been him because this feels like an adult kicked me. Not a 2-year-old. And I was like, oh man, it was painful and it was really uncomfortable. But like, I thought, oh, maybe I sleep funny and it's the muscles or whatever. So I went out to the lounge and I said to Jen, oh man, my stomach, oh, it's so sore. And she's like, go to the loo. And so I sat on the loo and did my business. And then it was still real bad. And I went out to the lounge and I sort of lay on the couch. And I'm like, oh, it's sore, it's sore, it's sore. And it was getting worse, like really fast, like real fast. So then I got up and Jen said, go have a shower because maybe that'll help, whatever, unblock your bowels. So,
Yeah, try with home remedies.
yeah, you do. And
boxes.
she gave me a heat pack. But the heat pack was so uncomfortable, I couldn't
The
use
heat
it.
pack is meant to be like a
Soothing.
comfort.
And I was like, get it off me.
Yeah,
And I was sweating.
I don't roll with the
Like,
the
I was
heat.
hard out sweating
Want a
as
heat
well.
pack? No, let's make
Yeah.
it worse.
So I got in the shower, and while I was in the shower, she was calling Healthline. And so she came into the bathroom with me, and she's like, I'm 53rd place in line. And I was like, oh, just put on speakerphone and stick with it.
Fucking third.
Yeah.
Is this on a Sunday?
Sunday, 10:30, whatever.
53rd in line. You
So
better
when I got up and got in the shower, it had only been like half an hour, and it got worse and worse and worse during that half an hour. So then I got out of the shower, and I got myself dressed and brushed my teeth and blah, blah. And I went in the kitchen, and I said, I'm going to be sick. And so one of the girls got me a bowl, and we had a chair in the kitchen, which we were using to get stuff out from the top of the shelves. Anyway, so I sat in the chair with a bowl, dry reaching, but nothing would come up. So in the end, Jen goes, do you want me to call an ambulance? And I was like, yeah, I can't. I'm in so much pain. And
So you called an ambo?
so we called an ambulance, yeah.
Well, okay.
And then the ambulance goes, how far are you from the hospital? And Jen goes, she's like 10 minutes drive, max. Because it's Palmy. Everything is 10 minutes drive. She's like, 10 minutes. And they're like, are you in a position to take him? Because the ambulance will be 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours wait for an ambulance. 53rd in line for Healthline.
Yeah. So Jen was like, okay. So she was making pancakes at the time for the kids because it was Sunday breakfast. We
just
always do.
Force a habit where like just one for the road.
They smelt real good. And but I couldn't even drink water. Like it was that
And
bad.
therein lies the severity of the situation. You just turned down Jen's pancakes.
Yeah, exactly. So she knew there was something wrong. And
Yeah,
so
I know there's something.
so she throws me in the car and we leave the kids with my oldest daughter. And we run down and she drops me off at emergency. And all I've got is my cell phone. I've got a bottle of water because on the way I started sipping water. And that was sort of easing it a bit, just sipping it slowly. And so I've got my cell phone and my bottle of water.
Was there a lot of people in the waiting room?
No, there wasn't many.
Oh, you lucky cunt.
I know. And I got to the triage nurse who's behind the screen and I was describing and she's like, well, when...
Yelling through those little dots in the fucking...
And,
the fucking glass.
and they got the opening at the bottom, so I'm down in the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, because
It's aggravating your condition more?
No, I'm literally bent over.
Oh.
Like, I couldn't even stand up. She's like, could you... And I'm like, I can't.
Yep.
And so she's asking me all these questions, and I'm trying to answer them. I'm in agony. I'm literally... This is like...
I know the situation.
So I've broken my ankle, right?
Yeah.
And that was less than this.
And they
in
show a
pain.
bit of attitude if you're not prompt with your, like, correct
Yep.
with your...
And luckily...
It's buzzy, eh? It's
The
weird...
last time I was in hospital for renal failure, which was years ago, I made the mistake of going, they said, when was your last bowel movement? And I made the mistake of going, I can't remember. And they took that as not for a long time and gave me the old squirt up the bum, which backfired because it squirted back at the nurse. Because she forgot to tell me to clench.
Didn't you say you hadn't eaten bowel movements for a long time? You're like, no, I actually remembered, like, it was about an hour ago. She's
Yeah,
like,
no, it
"That
was literally like that morning.
And you look at her, she's just dripping with brown juice.
Oh,
and-
it was everywhere. Anyway, oh, fuck her. I didn't feel bad because she was a rude bitch. Anyway, this nurse was lovely. And she said, okay.
Shit.
She's like, she asked me all the normal questions and then she took down all the details and she goes, have you had a COVID test? And I said, yeah. She goes, what was it? Negative. She's like, did you bring it? I said, no, but I got a photo of it, blah, blah, blah. All that shit. Do you know what I mean? And so anyway, I go and sit down and I'm in agony. And then people keep walking in with like really minor problems. Like, oh, I've sort of hurt my ankle a little. I was wondering if I could see something. But they
Yes.
walked in. And I'm just like, oh, fuck
They
you.
don't want to go to the GP, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's Sunday. Most of the GPs aren't open. They don't
Yeah.
want to go to the Palms.
Yeah, or they know there's like a 2-week wait, so
Yeah.
they go into the... And you're in actual pain.
I'm
Do you know what the worst thing
dying.
is? They say the right things to be seen before you. Because there's
No,
certain
I
things,
said the right things because I got
Good.
in quick.
Otherwise, you're sitting there in
Yeah.
pools of rage.
They saw one person and then they saw me.
You're
And the
lucky.
one person looked fucking like she was dying, honestly. Then, so they took blood, they put a line in, temperature, which I had a massive fever, all that sort of shit, gave me pain relief, put me back in the waiting room. And I was in the waiting room for another half an hour. And then they finally called me into observation.
Yeah.
They put me in a bed
Yeah.
and did nothing. And then eventually a doctor came and said, okay, we got your bloods back and we think we know what the problem is. We think you got pancreatitis. I said, what the fuck is that? Is my asshole okay? Because that's my big concern.
And he's like, I can look for you.
and I'm rock hard. No.
Yeah.
No.
Keep
and
the
I
wedding
am,
ring on.
Yeah. And I am... so he goes, okay, your pancreas is leaking enzymes and your enzyme level should be at 20. Do you want to guess what mine was?
I wouldn't have a clue, but it's probably a
Okay, 20 is normal.
high score.
Yeah, 20 is normal. Just pick a number.
I'm going to go with 108.
108? It's actually pretty good. It was 1600. No, it was 6800. Sorry, it was 6800.
So in hindsight, it was not even close.
No. So it should be 20. I was on 6800. The
What
enzyme
did I
level.
say? 1008.
108.
No, I said
Oh, 008. Yeah.
1008.
Yeah.
And the actual amount.
6800.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was real bad. So they're like, you're going to be here for a few days.
I've never hit that high score, Sue. Well done.
Yeah. So I called Jen. She dropped bags off she dropped some clothing off and whatever, phone charges and that shit. And yeah, and I was there for
So this was
Sunday.
on Sunday, and when did you get out? Friday.
Friday.
Oh, yes, is it a 5-night lag?
Yeah, so I was going to get out earlier, but I couldn't break the fever. So, and I'm actually, in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't because, like, once I got home, I recovered real fast. But if I'd gotten out on Wednesday when I first asked, I would not have done well.
That's why they keep you in, bro.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's just...
It's the right thing to do. They also came back and said, look, your bloods are still not very good. So we want to keep you in a bit longer.
It's not what you want to hear, but it's always hindsight's a bit. Afterwards, you're like, nah, it had to happen that way.
Yeah.
But you feel caged in, like. So my next thing is,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Dylan,
Yep.
but I'm a little. I've had 1 or 2 stints in the hospital.
Get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, some people know me by name up there. Been around the block.
Some people know me as Space Cowboy. Woo, woo. Sorry, I was thinking about that earlier.
Some people call me the gangster of love.
Some people call me Maury.
Now I want to sing songs, play games, and all sorts.
I was just thinking about... Oh, sorry. Anyway, we'll come back to that song.
So no, because I've
You've done a few stints.
for different organs, different ailments, different horrible things, and when we're talking about like I can check your asshole for you. Like I've had my cherry popped.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the night I found out I had kidney failure, I had renal failure. They brought it down to, and like true story, like I actually asked my family this because they were all there. I'm like, was that an actual thing? Like it's boiled down to either you have renal failure, possibly leukemia. So we have to do a prostate check. I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then so it was an older gentleman.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I'm losing
Like a
because he's
candle
got
or anything?
knobby knuckles because he's an old man.
Yeah. You want that young nurse.
You want a
Male or
young
female, doesn't matter.
Japanese because they got slender fingers.
Nice fingers. Or piano
Tiny.
player.
Like they put the whole fucking go paper scissors rock, go paper right up the ass. I won't the slender thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, he why am I describing when I got finger fucked? It was horrible. But my thing I wanted to ask you anyway, going back to my original question, what was the food switch like for you?
Okay, so
The food switch like the menu ticking the boxes, getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
You were there for a whole week's worth.
yeah.
Tell me about the food switch.
So the first day I was there, which was Sunday, I couldn't eat. Even if they bought me food, I wouldn't have eaten it.
did you end up getting your own ward by any chance? Like
No, so on Sunday night, 10:30, they
Did
put me in the
you
ward.
up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while I was in OBS, they came around. They said, "Do you want a sandwich?" And I was like, by then the painkillers had kicked in, and I was like, "Bring a sandwich, but I don't know if I'm going to eat it." So then
sandwiches, yogurts, bananas.
jelly's the other thing they always have. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So they bought me a sandwich, but I took one look at it and I just felt
You
sick.
just know, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, no. But what they did bring me was jelly, and that went down because it was so soft. It was like drinking, really.
Yeah, jelly good.
Yeah, so jelly was good. And so I didn't eat that day. Then they said to me, when I got to the ward, they said, at 2 a.m. you're not allowed to drink anymore because you're going for a scan first thing. So that was fine. I went for my scan and I came back. By the time I got back, it was like 11 o'clock. And then they're like, oh, we'll bring you lunch, but we're not going to put you on solids. We're going to put you on... No. Sorry, that's not true. They said, we're going to put you on low fat, low sodium, low flavour.
Low fun.
Low fun. So I got strained soup.
What do you mean by... What does that mean, strained soup?
It was just broth.
So is there no lumpy bits?
No lumpy bits, no.
Just...
Yeah. I got a piece of bread, a yogurt,
broth.
and an egg sandwich. I think that was the first day. And then...
Wait, so you got broth, a slice of bread,
Yeah.
a punnet of yogurt.
Yeah. And an egg sandwich. I think it was egg. I can't remember. A something sandwich. Something boring. And I think I ate like 3 bites of the sandwich and I took about 2 sips of the broth and I was like, I'm done. Just couldn't eat.
When did you go back to normality of food? About Tuesday, Wednesday? So what was the food stuff like for you?
So
when your normal eating self?
I kept missing the ordering guy.
What? Did you leave a slip of paper behind on your tray with that little
No, but they don't do that anymore. They do it all electronically. So they come round, they ask you, what do you want? And
but if you're not there at the time, they're like,
they just order anything.
MIA.
Yeah.
Give them the leftovers.
So often I was in the shower or like whatever, taking a shit. I don't know. But like I would often miss it. So like the first day I could properly eat, the lunch was fine. I think I got a nice lunch. I've got photos of it. So on Wednesday morning I ended up getting porridge, which I actually like porridge. But that was shit porridge. Like that was like
it's
really
made,
shit ass.
Like they make 100 litres of it 3 hours beforehand. By the time you get it, it's like it's
pretty fucking. It's pretty bullshit.
Did you ever eat anything that was like, that was good, like a good dinner, good lunches?
So, I got a good lunch one of the days, which was a pasta. So it was like a pasta bake, mince.
Ooh, mince
penne pasta,
great.
Lots of capsicum, which I love.
Yeah, I love
cheese.
some capsicum.
It was cheesy. I got really good soup in there because I like soup. So one day I had a carrot and carrot soup with what's that thing everyone hates?
Everyone hates coriander.
Yeah, carrot and coriander soup. I fucking love coriander because I grew up on it.
Yeah, see, I couldn't
So that was nice. I got a nice pumpkin soup one day.
Yeah, pumpkin soup.
But then that night they brought me fish, and I don't eat fish.
You don't eat fish?
No. And what was worse? No offense. It was coconut fish.
What do you mean, no offense?
It was fish cooked in coconut, and I don't like fish.
Oh my feelings right now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, the meals were real hit and miss. Some of the meals were fucking great. I gotta say, one night they did. They called it meat sauce with peanut.
Meat sauce,
which could be served with rice or pasta. I had it with pasta because I took it was like a bolognese.
Yeah, like a pasta sauce.
Which is what it was. And I was like, oh, meatballs, and it wasn't. It was just massive clumps of mince. But the sauce was real good.
It's kind of like when you get like a tray of mince, and you sort of like put them in, like just roughly just bang it into the frying pan, and you don't try and break it up. Just
I thought it was meatballs.
Like meat cubes, but it's meat.
Yeah, meat chunks, mince chunks.
The thing is, because one thing I've learned is the key to like happiness when it comes to food in the hospital is
get it delivered.
You need to get in with the orderlies.
Yeah.
That is once you get in, especially I don't know, you touched on the whole coconut thing. If they're Māori or Polynesian around our age. Yeah. It's like brother, come on, this ain't my first rodeo. I know how it works. Like it's sweet and sour pork day, right?
Yeah.
It's like I don't want sweet and sour pork.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that you make bolognese the day before, which is tomorrow, Thursday, correct, right? Lunch. I would like a plate. God, what's it gonna take? And, you get it with the orderlies, and it just happened because I had to the last time I was for my eyes. They kept me in. I was in ISO, quarantine.
Yeah.
For my eye, but every hour on the hour they give you 2 different drops, one each. But it
Gotcha.
has to be on the hour. So that's why they don't really like you going home,
Yeah.
because a nurse comes in every hour. And like overnight, like one of the orderlies would pop his head in, and it just so happened his older brother was the guy that was like in the morning. And they both, because I'll go for cigarettes. They're like, you're here in the cardiology ward, Kels, and you're going down for sniffing down for cigarettes.
Yeah, not a good look.
Why do you think you're up here?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know that. Just let me be a idiot
I'm
in
not
peace.
smoking through my fucking eyeball, alright?
Yeah, like, hey, fuck you, man. They didn't give me this much shit in the fucking ophthalmology clinic. God damn it. And I'd see them smoking. So there was my in. I was like, look, hook us up. They're like, nah, bro, it's just whatever is like offered. And I'm
Yeah.
like, read my medical file.
Yeah.
You won't have the time. It's huge. It's,
Yeah.
it's one of those.
It is a ward.
It needs its own fucking library. It's
Yeah.
a huge. Like, it took them a month to like transport my medical files from one doctor's to another,
Yeah.
because they need like a vehicle heavy enough axles to handle that weight. Because
Couriers only carry 2.5 kilos
it was
at
a
a time.
3-man job.
Yeah.
Like, it's I was just like, I know how it works around here. Like, smart. And then you just sort of, once you know the ins of the inner
Yeah.
workings. I came out of that bitch a week later 10 pounds heavier.
Do you know what I found interesting is that they do...
Cold toast.
Oh, I didn't eat the cold toast at all. What they do really well is like... Okay, the bolognese was real chunky, but the sauce was really nice. So, like, the meat they do quite well.
Yeah.
But the vegetables are for shit. And the mashed potatoes, I got once, and I said, I'm never fucking getting that again. And they're like, why? I was like, there's no fucking...
Why are you acting surprised?
It's like, it's literally mashed potato. They're
no
like, yeah. I was
butter,
like,
no salt.
yeah, I'm like, fucking a little flavour.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but you're on the low flavour diet. And I'm like, no, motherfucker. One day, they forgot. The person doing the order forgot I was on that. And I got real good food. But I paid the price. Yeah. So, since I've been home, the food's been better, but I'm still on, like, simple.
On this,
Keeping it fairly simple.
There's pretty much like
I
paleo,
say that,
like
I've
raw
had-
foods, paleo.
No. Like, I had a hamburger for dinner tonight.
But it's just still meat and veg.
Yeah, mostly.
Like,
But Jen's
then-
made 2 chili meals, and that made me really happy.
Yeah, she is amazing.
Yeah.
Remember, like, my when you told me for my birthday, Jen was gonna make me lasagna.
Yeah.
This was like a month ago now.
She made that into the chili meals.
I bet it was great.
Amazing.
I always mention lasagna because I fucking love it. But like, being the pompous fucker that I am, I don't like making it for myself. No, it's not the same when you make it for yourself. Like,
Better when someone makes it, yeah.
yeah, like, and you go to cafes and stuff. One, they're insanely priced
Oh.
for a small block,
Yeah.
and they taste bland. Like
Yeah.
this isn't the hospital. This is a little cafe. Like,
Yeah.
you're not mass producing to feed 1,000 people.
Yeah.
You're making 2 lasagnas. Where's the flavor? I'm not paying $14 for this. But
Yeah.
going by your wife's track record, I bet her lasagna is the tits.
When she does it properly, and when she's putting the effort, like doing the whole pumpkin, adding mashed
Is
pumpkin.
that the like ricotta, spinach,
Yeah.
pumpkin buzz?
Yeah, she kind of does that, but still with meat.
Oh,
Yeah, she just puts a layer of pumpkin in the middle. Keeps it really moist.
yeah. The
Sweet.
pumpkin would give it that sweet sort of
Amazing. Not very authentic, but
Again, the spinach, which is kind of like a, it's. Have you had like kale?
yeah, I hate it.
It is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Like grown. Like that
Oh,
should be.
yeah.
That should have been right amongst the marijuana trees, and that should be smoked. Because they should not be consumed. It
No.
is.
It should just be eradicated.
It's horrible. Like, but I had to learn to love it because when I had the when I got like ass fucked by that old man,
Yeah.
and
People do a nice salmon dinner with
like
kale side.
oh my, I had to do the juicing every day.
Oh, okay.
It was because like I was like got renal failure. It's what killed Jonah Lomu, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I remember I made like I was at training for Indoor Netball, and then it was the height of summer, and we're training like 4 days a week. So you have like 5 liters easily of water on a training
Yeah.
day, and I noticed I was never ever going like to take a piss the whole day. The only time would be before bed by habit, and it would be like the color of that LMP bottle. Like it was like,
great.
and I was just getting bloated, and then I collapsed, woke up, you know, like what's going on, and then I had the kidneys of an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's next? So they go, well, you'll be looking at like what do you call it?
Dialysis.
Dialysis, like 2-3 days a week, and you'll be doing that for a while, and you'll be on the list for an organ transplant.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? And then got sent home, but I did go back in a few days, and I was channel surfing in the lounge with my partner at the time, in the lounge, and then I went as far as TV1, and went all the way, like, there's nothing clearly on, I went all the way down to Channel 1, and it was a documentary that just started to play on TV1. It was called Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead.
Yeah.
And it was about an Australian guy who had the same ailments as me, taking the same drugs as me, and it's like, you know, you're just like, there's only one way street to like dying slowly, or not taking the drugs and dying instantly.
Yeah.
But he was like, he wanted control of his life again, so he did a 60-day juice fast.
Oh yeah.
And basically, long story short, in 6 months' time, he was medication-free, ailment-free, and I watched it. I'm like, what have I got to lose?
Yeah, yeah.
Literally the next day, I went to Noel Leeming, bought that same juicer that he had, and the green juice was kale, kale, spinach, cucumber, celery.
Gross.
What did I just say? Kale, I hate.
Yeah.
Cucumber, I don't like cucumber.
Don't you?
I just feel like...
That's the one redeeming thing in that whole smoothie.
No, because for me, after I eat a meal, like a burger or something that has cucumber in it, all I taste after the meal is cucumber.
I like cucumber, but not in things. Just cucumber. Like, in a salad. You know what I mean?
And what was it? Spinach is tasteless.
Yeah, yeah.
And celery, which I hate.
Yeah, I hate celery.
Do you remember those white kids at fucking playtime at primary school, and they had the Glad wrapped celery
with peanut butter?
With peanut butter.
What was wrong with those?
I used to be like, are your parents making you eat that? Because you're not here, you can throw it away.
Yeah,
like,
blink twice if you're in pain.
You've never had a celery? You don't like celery?
Yeah.
Hell to the nah. Like, it was that.
You're like, no, motherfucker, I eat pies.
I ate pies. Like, I had to drink like 2 liters of that a day.
Yeah.
Plus I had like one in the morning that was basically just carrot, lemon, orange.
That's not so bad.
But like, and like 3 liters of water a day. But you don't eat anything.
Yeah.
Now, you know how much like I smash back food?
Yeah.
20 days in a row.
Wow.
I did 20 days, and then I did a 15-day, and I was doing as much as I could handle. But in 3 months' time, I didn't never be 100%, but I avoided dialysis.
Yeah.
And because of juicing.
Yeah, yeah.
But kale can eat a horse dick with a butter knife.
Yeah.
Is the only means of utensil.
Yeah.
Go eat that horse dick with a butter knife.
Yeah, because even the horse won't eat it.
Even the horse one, he was like, ugh. I haven't bathed in that in my nether regions.
It just gets me when people are like, but kale, it's just like cabbage. I was like, yeah, but we have cabbage.
Yeah, and no, you can't compare it. No.
No, it's not like cabbage, because cabbage is nuts.
Yeah, bit of sauerkraut action going on.
Oh, like if you cook cabbage right, it's beautiful. You cannot cook kale right. There's no good.
No, and it's
results.
flame juiced as well. It was from the very first sip I hated it.
Yeah.
I can't stand it to this day.
Yeah.
But going back to the hospital,
I didn't eat kale in hospital.
Sometimes you got to think like the stuff that's best in the mass produced format, because they make it all in one hit. And you start thinking, well, that's probably not going to be nice. That's why I reckon pasta sauce is, it doesn't matter if you make for 1 or 1,000 people. Like,
you can't really go wrong.
Fuck that up.
The only thing they did was they drained the pasta and left it.
I know what you're talking about.
So it was a big clump of pasta.
Yeah, you could just grab it by hand, eh?
And the whole thing would come up. The same sort of thing with rice.
I was going to bring up rice.
You know when you get that bone dry, almost hard rice?
You don't even need a scoop. You can just grab it in chunks because they're just solid mass. It's like a cake.
No, it wasn't like that. It was free flowing.
Like but an Uncle Ben. As free flowing as an Uncle Ben's ad? Because they make that shit just...
Yeah, it's free flowing as that. But the problem was they'd obviously cooked it and just left it for a bit. It was all free flowing, and that's fine. But when rice kind of goes cold, it kind of goes a bit hard again. It was kind of like that. Hard rice. Cooked, but hard.
I just feel like the hospitals sometimes get a bad rap with their food, but then it's avoiding, there's certain meals that are not going to go down. Because I know sweet and sour pork, lunch day, it's every ward just stinks out. It's like that one cunt in the fucking staff room who decides to reheat their tuna fucking curry.
Oh, yeah.
And it stinks out
or
the whole...
with shrimp paste in it.
Yeah, something that's
Yeah.
just, and you're like, dude,
And then like, you're like, I'll use the microwave after you, and they're done. And you're like, no, I won't.
Yeah.
I'll eat it cold.
that's what sweet and
outside.
sour pork day is like at the
Yeah.
hospital.
So I didn't have sweet and sour pork. I tell you what, there was
You
one
avoided it.
meal.
It's not nice.
There was one meal, and I cleaned the plate.
Yeah.
And that was the fish night, right? So they brought me the fish.
Was it just white fish crumbed or something, or like?
No, it was white fish swimming in a coconut sauce.
Oh, that's right. We know that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Sounds
I
great.
opened it up, and I was like, fuck no, put the lid back
Oh, that
on.
sounds great.
It did not look great.
I would've
If it
been
was a taste, if it looked like a nice piece of fish,
Ah, okay.
I probably would have been like, I'll give it a whirl. But the other thing is, the coconut sauce was full of parsley. It was almost green.
Oh, that's done
Could have
wrong.
been kale, to be honest. So I immediately rang the buzzer for the nurse. But by the time she came around, the people had left. The food people had left.
The big food wagon.
And I was like, can you get me... I was like, I'll have a sandwich. Like, can I just have a sandwich? And they're like, you don't
What
want
is she-
fish? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't eat fish. They're like, oh, are you allergic? And I was like, no, I just don't eat it.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for this argument. Like, why didn't you tell us that? And I had a real good comeback ready while I was waiting.
I
was
it,
waiting for it to
yeah.
be like, why didn't you tell us you don't eat fish? I would have been like, well, I don't eat dick either. I didn't have to tell you that.
I suck it.
yeah.
I'll just eat it.
I don't like to eat arsehole, but you know, that's not true. Anyway, so she said, I'll see what I can do. And
Yeah.
she took it away. But while I was waiting, it also came with a jelly and a yogurt.
Did she take them away too?
No, I'd eaten those by the time she came because I was like, if nothing else, I could eat this.
Yeah.
Because I was real hungry, so I ate those. And she took it away, and she instantly brought back another tray. And it was a beef curry.
Ooh.
And it had ice cream and custard.
Good bitch.
And I was like, oh, I've already had those. She's like, just have those as well.
You got a goodie.
Yeah, and that was fucking good.
Just because it would have been a mild, like a mild,
Yeah.
like.
It was more like a beef stew with a bit of curry powder in it, to be honest. But fuck me, was it nice.
With some rice on the.
Bit of the hard rice on the side, which I mixed in.
You got a re-up on dessert. You got seconds on dessert.
Yeah, I couldn't eat the ice cream though.
Where I come from, there was no such seconds for dessert. You're lucky you're getting dessert.
Yeah, exactly.
Seconds for dessert. Did you hear, Kels? Seconds for dessert. Then I get laughed at. You got seconds for dessert.
I couldn't eat all of it. I ate the custard, and then when I go eat the ice cream, I had two mouthfuls. Carpety too. 2 mouthfuls.
You had more dessert than your dessert was surplus to requirements, man.
I had 2 mouthfuls, and I was like, oh, no. It was like, that was the first full fat thing I had had, and it did not go down.
Man,
I was
you
just
found
like,
out
"No."
within 2 spoonfuls.
Oh, yeah.
Was it
real
like
quick.
carpety vanilla bean?
It's just, carpety vanilla ice cream. Whatever they serve, like the little tub.
And you knew within 2 mouthfuls, your body was just like, red alert,
Nope.
red
Yeah,
alert.
it was like, nope.
Red alert.
No, you put more of this in, it's coming back, motherfucker.
Like, God damn it, send all our troops to the brain.
Yeah.
Because this stubborn son of a bitch, he'll eat it. I seen him do it.
But it was a,
And curry, nice.
yeah. It fucking, it was a long week.
Yeah.
It was just fucking
I felt
depressing.
your plight that, it was that Thursday morning.
When I was messaging you going, oh man.
Because the first, you're like, oh, I'm finding out today if I'm going home.
Yeah.
Hopeful. Like,
Because I felt real good on Wednesday.
Yeah, you felt chipper, sounded chipper. And then, you had the support at home. Mum and Kiana were heavily, spoke, how is he?
Yeah.
Has he found out yet? And we're talking to, the bro, on the phone at the same time. And I was also sitting on the doorstep waiting for a friend of mine to pick me up. Because I was going to help her with a few, that was on my good day.
Yeah.
And then when you found out that, no, I got to stay. And because I was out and about. So, my phone was pretty much dead.
Yeah.
But the last message I saw was I think I managed one exchange with you when you're it was a 4-worded sentence. You were just I don't want to be here. I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm over it. Oh, over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. And then it's because some things I take not for granted, but things like hospital stays and tests and being sick 1 week on, 1 week off, being bedridden 5 days at a time. It's my norm, but that's not the norm. So a week-long stay at the hospital is, especially when you've got a family at home.
Yeah.
I'm man, it sucks.
Yeah,
I've just done it too often now. It's clockwork now.
Yeah.
Especially with my family, but it's not something environment to get used to.
No.
But when for you, I could feel that short little message. I'm and I felt like a shit friend because it's because me of COVID.
Yeah.
I can't come up to the
Well,
hospital.
no one could.
Like, oh, is that not even gym?
Jen was allowed,
But like certain times only.
so the kids weren't allowed at all.
Okay, so it's quite strict.
And you're only allowed one visitor for the entire stay.
Okay, like a designated visitor.
Yeah.
Okay, keeping numbers, foot traffic down.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Well,
it
we
feel
didn't
better.
stick to that at all. But
I was also like, it was the wrong time of the week.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you get sick at, like,
yeah, when you're free.
when
Oh,
I could have
oh,
like
sorry.
I could have like delivered like what water you in? I would have like got food sent to you. Like, you know, like
Oh, they wouldn't have given it to me.
really? Why?
Well, maybe on Thursday they would.
I would have asked like what can you like
They would have been like, you can't have that.
what can you have then? Like
It's just what they gave me. That's all they would let me have.
oh then like just get like shit sent up to you, like
Yeah.
you know, but like I just what I was
Yeah.
saying is like I felt like I wasn't helping in any way. You know, like
Yeah.
but
So-
then I think I was just trying to like take your mind off something by like saying other shit
Yeah.
about this, you know. But I understood because it's not fun.
No, and I think if circumstances had been different,
I mean,
like
there's a long time.
if we weren't in COVID and the kids could come up,
Yeah.
it would have been much different.
Because it used to be just open, pretty much open door
Yeah, pretty much.
policy. Like walk
So-
in and people can walk in and out.
I still saw the kids, but I had to go down outside,
Right.
and because it was so cold that week, like they only could stay for so long,
Mm.
because they could only come after school.
I'm assuming you would meet them outside after you were aware you could wear mufti clothes.
Yes.
I don't see you down there in a gown.
No. So the first time I had to be wheeled down, and then after that I could walk down. But like after that week, we also had something on every day. So like we had school interviews, you know. The kids had their injections for COVID. There was something else. Oh, eye tests for the kids. And so they couldn't come until after those things. So by the time they got there, it was like 6:30 at night. And so like one night, Jen bought them dinner, like brought Wendy's in for them,
Oh, Wendy's. She
and
went,
they ate outside. And I sat with them while they were eating.
ooh, Wendy's.
Yeah.
Choice, Jim.
And well, it's cheap. It's a nice cheap dinner for them. So
Those $5.50 meals.
yeah, exactly. So and then like the other nights they came, but they were hungry and stuff, so they only stayed. And it was cold, so they only stayed for a little bit.
Yeah, but like just 10 minutes with like face-to-face time with
It's
the kids.
huge.
Because it's like, because you can get lost in, because my thing was, there are times where, especially with my insomnia, or when you're woken up every hour, like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
just you're so discombobulated in that sort of world that sleep is tough, and those beds are like the most
It's shit.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like anyone who has any type of form of insomnia, like sleeping away from your own bedroom is so hard in the
forget it,
hospital.
eh?
Like, but then you're just awake.
Yeah.
And not checking on you every 10 minutes. Like,
No.
sometimes you'll be hours and hours and hours just
Oh, yeah.
laying there, like, just laying about. And it's,
One night-
especially sometimes when you're in, like, discomfort, pain,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the tests.
Because the other thing is with this, the pancreas, like I could only lie in some positions.
What is it like as of right now, like today?
It's fine.
Yeah?
A little bit of not pain, but just discomfort sometimes.
Because when you said pancreatitis, I think my immediate reply was, like, surgery
Yeah.
or meds.
Yeah. Well, if it was gallbladder, it would have been surgery.
Yeah,
If it was alcohol, it would have been meds.
because that's a flip a coin question.
Yeah.
When you just say pancreatitis. Oh, no, your original thing, I got stabbed.
Oh yeah, that was
And I
funny.
was like, yarn. No, you didn't.
I said that to so many people, eh?
But I was like, no, I don't see a situation where you get stabbed. Like, how are you in this predicament where someone decides that you, of all people, they're going to stab? Like, nah.
You'd be surprised how many people
Stab you?
no fell for that.
Really?
Gavin,
What?
you know
Really?
the American comedian Gavin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he ran the that show we did together.
Did he immediately, like, say, fuck off?
So he messaged me because we did a show. We did the open mic on Wednesday together, and he
Nice.
messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm back in April. Do you want to come do the show with me at Pete's place?" And I said, "Fuck yeah!
I've never been to Pete's Place.
Oh, you should come. It's in
I'd
April.
love to.
You can be my plus one."
Yes. Awesome.
So he messaged me and said, "Hey man, I had a real good time. You know, like I loved your stuff on Wednesday. Do you want to come do the show?" Because I was talking to him on the night about this show. I was like, "Oh fuck, Pete's place, you're gonna fucking love it." Blah blah blah. And so he messaged me. He's like, "Do you want to do the show with me?" Blah blah. We'll split the door, whatever. I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Cool.
And
Excited for you. That's me.
so an hour later, he messaged me again, and he goes, "What the fuck? Are you in hospital?"
Mm.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in hospital at the moment. And he's like, are you okay? I said, yeah, I got stabbed. And he's like, Jesus Christ. I was like, no, just kidding, pancreatitis. And he's like, not funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Immediately, I was like, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah. You got stabbed, yeah, by Jen.
And then when you said pancreatitis, I was immediately on my surgery.
Yeah.
Like, because I knew...
I was hoping for surgery, to
I
be
knew
honest.
damn well what pancreatitis
Yeah.
is.
I was hoping for surgery because when they told me, like, if it's your gallbladder, we'll just take your gallbladder out and you'll be fine. You'll come right within a few days. And I was like, please be that. Because they said to me, if it's not that and it's not alcohol, because they ruled that out real fast.
Then you got to, like, take meds, wait for the meds to kick in, then...
They said this, like, it's a long road.
Yeah,
it could
it's
be
the longest.
Be a few days or it could be a few months. And I was like, fuck's sakes. Now, my grandmother had pancreatitis when my father was born. And it took her months to get better. And so did my great uncle.
So maybe we haven't even broached this, like, possibility, like, genetics.
I asked the doctor that and he said, we don't know.
The pancreas is, like...
He said there's not enough research.
It's an organ of mystery.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, like, going back to that, so it's a Gavin run event, and it's just like you two, like, two-man show?
So it's two dudes, I'm doing a spot.
Awesome.
Yeah, just
Gavin
like as a local...
Gavin, that's the American fella from Wellies?
Yeah, good dude.
I haven't been to Peace Place before.
Peace Place is rocking.
But I've heard all of it. It looks cool. It looks
And
unique.
if you go on the 24th of April at 7:30, we're
That's
doing the gig
the
here.
24th of April. It's 7:30.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we talked about where I brought comedy up.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my phone.
Oh, look at
I know.
that! You got your vaccine pass?
I got my...
As soon as they say we're not going to need them anymore.
I know. The like woman behind the counter, she's like, they're abolishing the vaccination passport. I think 7th or April.
Yeah.
I'm like, you mean? I could have just I want comedy, like, so.
So bad.
Yeah, so tomorrow open mic night at the Globe, like.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Like I just that creative outlet again. I need it.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
And when you take that away, you realize how important and how imperative having an outlet like mental or creative outlet is for mental health.
Yeah.
Because I learned that from last year. Like, I'm like, yeah, I've always been struggling with depression, but why? And yeah, I've got these external factors going on, my physical health, the fear that, brings sadness to my family with the physical health stuff.
Yeah.
All that. But why does it feel like it's compounded with interest? Like, what's different? So why is my depression at this point? Like, why can't I seem to let this shit go?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was because I was bedridden weeks at a time. That obviously can play a part.
Yeah,
But then I realised because as I got really sick last year, had that time of comedy,
Yeah.
and I realised that if I don't have an outlet for this, like, I like a mental or a creative outlet, then it's stuff that sticks in my head.
Yeah.
Because when you have a creative outlet, you let out the bad and the good.
Oh, totally.
So you're still swimming in that good and bad thought, like all those thoughts, and you're just swimming in these thoughts without a way to release them.
Yeah.
To the point you start drowning in it, and it becomes like noisy and like good luck sleeping.
Yeah.
You can't decide when to sleep. Your body will tell you it might be day 3,
Yeah.
and your body's like, and it might be 2 in the afternoon at a very inconvenient time.
Yeah.
Whereas like everything over like an hour period starts
Yeah.
to, and it and that's when you'll sleep, because I had all these thoughts in my head, and when I couldn't do comedy for the last 2 months now, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
It was
Easy.
only that January gig, eh?
And even then, before that, it was a big span as well.
Yeah, but I thought that was, the start of the year, that open mic, the first one of the year where you MC'd, I thought this is like, finally, I'm back. Like,
Yeah.
But then...
Back, baby.
But no. But then because I had no foreseeable comedy gigs, I lost that fire or want or desire to, or passion to write, because I don't know when the next gig was. It's a shitty excuse, but it just extinguished any sort of fire I had.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So then I wasn't writing, I wasn't challenged creatively with, performing this on stage, because that's obviously an art form like on its own. That was all now gone, and then when I started feeling shit the last couple of months, like instantly I'm like, oh, that's, and now that I'm jumping back on stage tomorrow night,
Yeah.
like there's this sense of like, I don't know, you got something, you always got something to live for being parents and whatnot, but like something out there for you.
Yeah.
And I've got something for me now, like, I've that circle of, this little like comedy hub fucking circle of friends that I miss dearly. Like we are just, like I remember when we first, before I did the comedy course in 2019, and you were talking about like when there's a gathering of comedians.
Oh yeah.
He goes, I'm not saying that your friends aren't funny, friends and family aren't funny, but when you get a group of comedians together, just around a table talking, like you were telling me, like the fucking places those conversations go.
It's insane.
But it was so true.
Yeah.
Like, man, the yarns that we have, and we just break things down. We ask like different questions. We look at things differently, and then next thing, and you got like 8-10 comedians doing that as a group.
Yeah.
Collectively. Oh, the fucking those yarns are that social environment. I miss that, man.
Yeah.
And it's and I could have waited a few more. I'm just like, because that news about abolishing the passports was kind of up in the air when I got jab 1 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, but once I got that, it was like you could abolish it next week. I'm already in. I've already got one and done. I might as well,
Go
so
the whole day.
But I've got that. It's back now. Like so, because I've been out of it for so long, here and there. Let's say a good solid year. Even though I started in 2019.
Yeah.
The times I've had off, I've had a solid like year off.
Yeah.
But now that I've had like a year off, I gotta cut my teeth on the open mic scene again. So like Hastings, Napier,
all that stuff.
That's different. You remember that road trip we had with yourself, Nathan,
and Morgan. Yeah. Oh fuck! I did it.
I feel like you didn't jump off the cliff. Technically, I kind of nudged you because I said
you
more.
were running and I was running behind you. You stopped and I just kept going.
It's like the height. It's like the diving board at the Lido, the top one.
Yeah.
When with your like the first time you go to like on free, bro. 1, 2. Nah, fuck that. He's like, oh, you. And your cousin jumps. And he's like, you fucking cunt. And you're just like, I'm not keen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take the stairs.
Yeah, I'll just take the middle one. Like, oh. No, but it's cool.
It's exciting. The only thing I'm bummed out about is that first gig, this gig tomorrow. I'm not going to be there.
Well, anytime you say I can't do something for whatever, like, bro, look at your life, busy.
Well, it's not there. I'm just like
pancreatitis on top of that
I'm
shit.
not quite 100% yet, and I
understand.
I can't see myself sitting in the globe for 2 hours.
Oh, me of all people can understand that.
Yeah, I'll just be like, put Kels first, and you'll be done. I'm like, see you, motherfuckers. I've already said his name now.
Yeah, what do you get?
Morgan will be like, don't you want to see me MC? I'll be like, Morgan, I love you, bro, but
pancreatitis.
I'm going home.
Oh yeah,
Send me the clips.
pancreatitis. Yeah, like he would send me all his clips and stuff, like and I would have him and I would talk like comedy, like the, who performed and like the good and bad for each one.
Yeah.
And I've actually old John Finley. I had a yarn with him on the phone last week. I had a yarn with him on the phone like
Did you?
Last week.
On the phone?
Yeah.
Oh fuck me, how'd that go?
He well, first of all, like, I didn't realise he listened to the podcast. I'm like,
because he was at the last open mic I was at.
Yeah. He told me like he because we had a group chat, but like, I mean, I can never plan for anything in advance, so I took myself out of the group chat.
Yeah. I know that. Yeah.
But then I was talking to Morgan about like every individual like performance, and then I reached out to old Finley, and like I'm like, I'll watch and give you my feedback.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you now, like just how I like my feedback, like don't blow smoke up my ass.
Just straight up.
Yeah, give me like as harsh as possible. That's how I'll learn. Like there should be no ego in the game when people that they care about you enough to give you honest feedback. Like,
yeah, totally.
Don't be butthurt by it.
You got to be.
But I'm gonna really zone in on like how I feel. Like, can you handle that brutal honesty? It's like, yeah, bro, and like we're good. I wouldn't blame him if he decided he didn't want to talk to me because I was brutal.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm just like, okay. He's like, yeah. So anyway, we talked shit for a few minutes,
Yeah.
and then he's like, so your feedback. Oh, okay. I'll start from the top. He's like, okay. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
That was the worst piece of shit clusterfuck I've ever
Wow.
seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're coming out in 3 different outfits. You then sit down, like the basketball. Like I'm like, and he's like, oh, my jokes. I'm like, you didn't have any jokes.
Mm.
So then I blasted him for like a while. Crowd work. I'm like, it was fucking a raped version of crowd work because you were forcing like conversation with people, and then when she didn't answer straight away, the way you replied, hello, and then he said a cliche line like, cat's got your tongue,
Yeah.
with his face, and I'm like, that moment, I wanted to screenshot it and just show you how much like I wanted to punch you in the face right here, this second, and then I just told him like, why are you thinking of all these gimmicks and shit? Like, did anyone not say how bad this was? He was like, oh, I actually got some decent feedback from friends and those girls I was talking to. I'm like, what about from the hub? Oh, he goes, oh, Dylan, a quick comment afterwards, he just said, never ever sit down.
Yeah,
again.
100%.
And I'm like,
Unless your bit involves sitting,
I'm like,
which it didn't.
He goes, but I can see where he's coming from, but I'm like, no buts.
Yeah.
No, like, he's right. Like, why are you trying to create, you haven't found your voice yet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, go up as John Finley, dressed in street clothes that you normally wear,
Yeah.
and just get some material down.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it's about.
Like, you just,
It's all about the material.
yeah, like you've done what, 5 like open mics?
Yeah.
You're not even a baby. You're a fetus.
Yeah.
Like, you're so green. Like, the cool thing is right now you're meant to be shit.
Yeah, that's right.
But
This is the time to be shit.
But that's that whole like tag as being shit. Like, it's got a time limit on it.
Yeah.
You can't be shit in 2-3 years. Like, you haven't like. But if you're trying to run before you learn how to walk,
Yeah.
and I'm like, he's like, I get put off by a different crowd. Like, fuck crowd work.
I in the messenger, I said to him, just don't worry about crowd work. Just don't do it.
No, just stick to be like a memorized school speech back in the day. Like, find your voice.
Yeah.
And if you just like eat shit for a couple of months to find your voice and get some material down, there'll be a few minutes here and there that'll work. Next thing you know, over like a 2-month, 3-month period, you may have enough there for like a decent set that you can put together.
Yeah, that's
but that's 3 months of grind. Like, I'm like,
and every open mic.
yeah,
Not every few years of an open mic.
Every available, like
every available spot.
like
you
when I
take
started, like it was.
it doesn't have to be the hub.
2 trips
Take
a
it with
month
everyone.
to 2 trips a month
Yeah.
to the Hawke's Bay.
Yeah.
And back, like anything possible. The front room at the Royal, the back room of the Willow,
Yeah.
everywhere. Like, like you know, you're meant to eat shit right now.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't just stumble upon these random words that are coming out of our mouths. Like, we put the work in.
Yeah. You
'Cause-
got to do that. It's the same as like wrestling. You got to pay your dues and do the grind and have your shit matches.
Learn
It's
this
the
from
same
the
thing.
bottom, like from the ground up. Like, humble yourself for fuck's
Yeah.
sake. Like, because I think he looks at like. He'll look at like what is your set looking like tonight? It'll be like 4 bullet points.
Yeah.
And he thinks I'm just riffing these 4 bullet points, but I'm not obviously going to write word for word each joke.
No, you just take your.
But those are 4 jokes I'm going to tell tonight.
Yeah.
But you know, because we've written them, because I sort of like write a joke out in complete full.
Yeah.
Just like having that somewhere in my consciousness, my cognitive.
Helps you get it out as well, eh?
Gets it all out, flesh it out, flesh it out to overflesh it, and then sort of break it all down, and then you start tweaking it, start working on it, and by then you kind of know the joke by now. Like, but that's by putting in the work. Like,
Yeah.
like look at any famous comedian, their interviews. They'll tell you like, you think we just walk on stage and bust out a Netflix performance? Like,
Yeah.
you don't see the 5 to 10 open mics we do every week where we eat shit 80 to 90% of those times where we say things no one laughs. You know, like, you have to be comfortable being shit in front of people constantly.
Exactly right.
And it's the only way to get better. The only way to try material is you have to do it in front of a live audience. So
Yeah.
you have to be willing to suck in front of people.
Yeah.
You know?
There's only ever been, in my opinion, one comedian who can just walk out with nothing and do an hour. And
I
that's,
talk about a famous comedian.
yeah,
Can I take stabs?
sure.
I was thinking Patrice O'Neill,
No.
Robin Williams.
No.
I think Carlin's like pre-written, so
Carlin grinds. Carlin
But-
used to grind. Like, there's stories of him turning up at open mics and be like, can I do 20 minutes? Same as like everyone, but one except for one.
That was just with like he has no pre.
Nothing, just walks out and goes.
To me, I reckon like it won't be the answer, but I feel like Bernie Mac falls in that category.
Billy Connolly.
Yeah,
Billy Connolly's the only guy I've ever heard of who never properly wrote a joke.
I didn't have that
Would just go out.
on my list, and because he does it so well, I assumed that he writes.
No, there's stories of him having panic attacks backstage.
What am I going to say?
What am I going to say? I
an hour and
have
a half?
nothing to talk about, and I've got to do 90
Sold out
minutes.
10,000 seater
Yeah, like 3 nights in a row. He's like, I got nothing to say. I don't know what to do. There's a story.
for 90. He's got to fill in 90 minutes.
There's a story.
That's so funny.
I can't remember who it was, but maybe Eddie Izzard. I don't know. If you're listening and you know this story, please correct me. There's a story about another comedian coming, like he had like a 3-night run somewhere,
Yeah.
and they said, I'm coming to 2 nights in a row. And they're like, oh, shit. And he's like, oh, cool, blah, blah, blah. He's like, could you do 2 nights without repeating anything? And he's like, okay.
Is this the Billy Connolly?
This is Billy Connolly. So Billy Connolly's like, fuck. So he did 2 nights in a row, did not repeat a word. Like, did not rehash jokes. And the guy, and the other comedian was like, I've never seen anyone ever do that.
For that long, too.
If you think about it, that's 3 hours of material.
Yeah. An
You
hour
know,
and a half.
hour and a half twice. And like, just all original, just then, there, doing it.
I was about to say, like, doing like a 7-minute set once, but you've done an hour-long show, right?
Yeah.
How taxing is that mentally?
It's pretty...
An hour has got to be hard to fit.
It's pretty cool.
I'd love to have the opportunity to do that.
I've done it a few times, and like sometimes it goes real slow, and other times, like one time I was doing it, and then I said to whoever was teching, it might have been Tracy. I think I said, I need you to tell me when I've got 5 minutes because the last bit involves tech. Do you know what I mean? So, but I need 5 minutes to get to that bit.
How loud is this rain, by the way?
Fucking rain.
Because I noticed like the cadence of your voice. I don't
It's
really,
going up.
Yeah, you're like talking louder and louder, and then the Mother Nature's like, "Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Hold my shit. Hold my beer."
Yeah, oh my dear.
So like, but we have this strong code. This one of the strong ethos that we live by in this podcast is unedited, is raw.
One take.
One take.
Yeah.
So that's if we name drop people, oh well. If
Yep.
we say things we regret.
Yeah.
It's like my rule is like that with voice clips too. You will never catch me like halfway through going, oh, start again, delete.
Yeah.
I still can't believe I was the one that introduced you to voice clipping on Messenger.
Yeah, you were. The
was
first
last
one who
year.
ever did that. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah,
This has changed my life.
Yeah, because
before that, the best thing I had ever come across,
it's voice to text.
was push to talk. Remember push to talk?
Of course I remember push to talk.
That was the best. I don't know why it didn't take off in this country, but it was like your phone was essentially a walkie-talkie, and you
Yeah.
could just like, bling, and like start talking. And
They tried to get it going because this is when I was at
I was at Telecom at the
It
time.
phased out just before I got to Telecom.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
08, very start of 08. But it was because like I saw like all the plans of what everything costs.
Yeah.
Push to talk was just horrendously expensive.
It was expensive, but it was such a good idea. And if they had gone like unlimited text with push to talk,
Unlimited voice clips.
imagine
Yeah.
how big that would be now still.
And do you imagine the amount of people that'll be more focused and aware of their surroundings when they're not? Because that's why I hate texting. Because first of all, like my eyesight's shit, so I got to lock
You're
it.
gonna really look at it. Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm like, give me 2 minutes, I got to finish this message.
Yeah.
But when I text, everything around me stops.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the middle of a text conversation, back and forth for a good 20 minutes,
Yeah.
nothing gets done. I can't do anything but like voice clips. And then you look at our conversation folder, especially when like we first would do voice, when you're like, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
There's not a single word. It's all voice clips.
Voice clip.
It's handy.
Yeah.
And now
It is handy, yeah.
it goes like fucking 4 minutes or something.
Yeah. I do like the voice clips, I will admit, and I've sent them to other people now.
I forgot that you worked at Telecom before. Was that before Vodafone?
I worked at Vodafone first and then Telecom.
Oh, but it was more like a leading edge kind of
Yeah.
business.
Well,
eh?
no, it was Telecom at first, and then Telecom sold a number of stores to Leading Edge.
Yeah, 'cause
And-
they were like but Leading Edge had its like own like niche audience, then like market, like
Yeah,
here
it
in
was-
Palmy anyway.
It was more business oriented than retail.
Hate to say it, but at the annual Telecom Retail Awards at the Auckland Sky City Grand,
Yeah.
your boy Kels cleaned house.
That was the only bad thing about becoming
house.
leading edge versus more mobile was those fucking nights out.
Yeah, you weren't included, which is
No,
good.
because I went to a few of them when we were Telecom, and
And-
they were fucking
because
epic.
they were like one of the in New Zealand and Telecom were the
Yeah.
two bad guys in New Zealand.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
we just
yeah.
monopolized
everything. Yeah.
everything. It was we were the only players in the field. But the retail, people don't realize this, even to this day, the retail store here in Palmy is either the most or second most busiest and most sellingest telecom. I like that, sellingest?
Yeah, it's good.
Like telecom store of Spark store in the country.
Yeah.
It was number 1 and 2 religiously every week, every month was Riccarton and Palmy. So like you had that foot traffic, you combine that with my like silver tongue, gift of the gab, and my essential selling skills.
Massive cock.
Yep, that helped close a few deals. You want to overprice fucking... And the most common, even... So this is 2008, right? The
Yeah.
most common broadband plan was either the 3 or 5 gig plan. How did we live?
I know, right? Well,
3 or
there's no
5
streaming.
gig? 3 or 5 gig, nigga?
I know.
3 or 5. And there was 2 plans. The Flexi Anytime, $45 a month. It was 60 minutes calling.
Yeah.
But Flexi My Time
It was after hours
was
calling,
offbeat calling.
Which was so shit.
It was so like...
Because you're at home, just use the fucking home phone.
Yeah, like, and then, so Telecom will, like, hit the same old phones, and then Vodafone, who was right opposite us in the mall, released the iPhone.
Yeah.
Game changer.
It was it, eh?
Bro, like, I don't know if you remember where Starbucks used to be there, like, in the plaza, next where, at the front of the plaza, like, the line for, like, the iPhone went down, like, towards, like, Turkish Delight Subway,
Yeah.
and we're sitting here, like, at Telecom.
Hello.
Do we have an answer for this? Like,
We have phones too.
it's a flip phone!
Senior 9000. Out now.
Samsung Intel random number here. Like we just didn't have that, and then we changed from Telecom to XT, but then they rebranded it to Spark. By then
Yeah.
I was gone.
Gone.
But I was the highest salesman of planned phones,
Yeah.
highest seller of mobile plans.
Yeah.
I was head and shoulders above the second place for warranties sold and insurance sold. And they had this thing called attachment rate. And I was anal about keeping it 100%.
Oh,
What
I
it
know what
is-
attachment rate is. Yeah.
So yeah, when they buy something, they had
gotta
to buy
an
something.
accessory.
But when a woman like, is buying her kid a mobile prepaid phone for $100
Yeah.
for Christmas, man, it was I would sell like a skin,
Yeah.
anything, like a stylus pointer pen, like
Yeah.
even though it's not touch screen. I don't know, like like. But the highlight of working there, apart from working across from Muffin Break, that was good,
Yeah.
was you can make your own numbers. So like mum's number,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like landline number is 3550887.
Yeah.
Her cell phone to this day 027 3550887.
Text her if
like-
you're listening.
Yeah, like
Hey, Kels, mum.
like what up, bitch? Like yeah, if at your
No,
imperial.
be nice.
Yeah, no, she's hard not to love that woman. Like but then I had it. So I forgot the business card to prove it, and technically I still have the number.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably been too long now. 027 444 4444. When I was at insurance,
Yeah.
people were like, "Is this a real number?" Like, yes, it is.
Dial it, find out.
Yeah, but
My favourite thing to do when I worked at Telecom, there was a few, was
We had some.
we had some fun times. Is you know that thing where people would buy a new phone, you could swap the numbers over.
Yes.
Did you guys charge for that?
No. You. That was a common gripe. People would come in like complaining.
So if you got the phone from us, we would do it for free. But if you didn't, you just walked in, we'd be like, oh, look, there's a $5 fee. You know,
Nah,
we have
yeah.
to do it. $5.
I agree with Leading Edge doing that. Like, so you should because
Yeah.
you know you're still a privately owned
Yeah.
franchise. Well, we were the face of telecom, so you got all that shit you had to deal with.
So what we would do is, if they wanted to pay FPUTs, we would put through a phone pouch.
Right.
Or, you know, the clips that used to go on your belt.
Yeah.
Well, they were only like $2 at cost and we sold them at 20. So we would put one through for $5, and then we would take it off the shelf once they'd gone, and use it as like a freebie. Like if you buy the phone, I'll give you this sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if they paid cash, that was straight in the pocket, and that was the rule in the store.
Straight that. So like I don't know if you remember a few episodes ago. I think it was like November when you admitted your crime when you worked at
when I
Rainbow's
skimmed
End.
from the top.
So if, for those who didn't listen to every episode, I can tell you now that our boy Dylan here used to work at Rainbow's End, the Rainbow's End, and he was the candy floss maker.
Yeah,
But
skimmed from the top.
sometimes he would take the odd coin or two as you know, like, because he was working at Rainbow's End. He wasn't getting paid a hell of a lot. And it was to buy the lovely surf and turf from the cafe, which was a hot dog and a...
A dog and a piece of fish. So
So,
what we do...
you're skimming here too?
So if they paid cash,
Once a criminal... okay.
we would take the $5. It wouldn't go in the till. We wouldn't even ring it through.
Yeah.
It would. We had a little jar in the back, and it would go into the jar.
Oh, it went to a team fund.
Yeah, and that was
That's
our beer
cool.
money. The other highlight of working there was
I like that.
we were in Remuera when I first started.
Oh, yeah.
Remuera Road,
Yeah.
just down from Newmarket.
Mm.
And it was a block of shops, and the first thing was a French cafe, which I think is still there. I think it's actually still there. But they did this breakfast called the gendarme.
Gendarme.
Yeah, I think it means big fucker or something. I don't know.
Big dong.
Big breakfast.
Gendarme. Was this what ethnicity was it?
French.
French.
And the guy was properly French. The guy who ran it,
Gendarme.
the gendarme. But we had a really good relationship with him, where if we went in and we were hungover, we would ring the cafe and be like, hey, it's Dylan from the phone shop. They'd be like, yep. I'd be like, can I get a gendarme brought down? And they'd be like, yep. And they'll bring it down, we'll pay cash.
Tell me what this.
Oh,
meal
it was everything you think it is.
But it's like a French big breakfast.
It was a French big breakfast. So
So
you
what
got
were the-
toasted
croissant.
No croissant. They got the baguette and they toasted it with lots of butter, like heaps.
Toasted baguette with butter. Oh,
And then eggs, how you like it, bacon, sausages, mushrooms, tomato, sweet tomato relish, hash brown, which was house made, and and grilled tomatoes. And I used to order extra grilled tomatoes. So like, can you grill it more than you normally do?
so it's not so soggy. It's...
No, so it's extra soggy.
Ooh.
Because then it spreads on the toast like a jam.
Okay.
Oh, fuck me, that was great. And then you would I would always get a poached egg and pop it over the bacon and just, oh man. And the sausages were like these little French pork
Kranskis?
sausages.
Little Kransky kind of things.
Yeah, but not Kransky like Kransky size.
Chipolata.
Yeah, like a little chipolata. Oh,
Can you tell about the homemade hash brown, please?
yeah, it was kind of like, it was actually more of like a potato cake than a hash brown, but they called it a hash brown. They actually probably called it that because Kiwis would recognise it and be like, oh, fucking hash brown.
Because have you heard of just what Americans call it hash?
Yeah, not that.
That shit blew my mind. Okay.
That shit's good.
Yes.
No, this was more like a potato cake, and it's probably before Kiwis could pronounce croquet.
Down Remuera, like.
Yeah.
Is that near like?
Do you know where the
Epsom side of things?
Do you know? No. It was the Newmarket end.
Newmarket.
You know where Remuera Road ends in Newmarket.
That was where my insurance office was down.
Yeah, and on the corner was that gelato place. That did taro.
Just as you're heading into Newmarket, eh?
Yeah, and so if you turned this way, you went to 277, and if you turned this way, you went to the movie theatre.
Right, was the movie.
And the train station was there.
Yeah, I know.
We were opposite the train station.
Okay. How long ago was this though?
This was 2004.
Oh shit! I was there
2003 or 2004.
two
yeah.
stints at Combined Insurance, and that was our main. Like it was 07 before
Yeah.
telecom, and again in 2012 to 13.
Yeah.
Was that along there? Like there was some good places for food along there.
Yeah.
Man, like, Auckland overall, like the night markets is something I miss.
Oh, fuck
It
yes.
blew like mum, my brother came up, like obviously like baby mama, but my daughter, like, so I was because they're in every main like area, like
Oh, they were everywhere.
Papatoy on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Fucking
North Shore.
Pakuranga
We used to go
Changa
there.
on a Friday night.
Yeah. We used to go to the North Shore one.
I was just down the road from the Pakuranga one.
Oh, yeah.
And like so my daughter and I, just like your family, like love dumplings, right?
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I told her like these are like better than dumplings and palmy, and you get way more for like. She's like, what do you mean? Like 20 dumplings for $5?
Yeah.
And people are like yeah, for real. Like it's just, they convert like a a car park, either the warehouse or Countdown or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's just food everywhere,
Everywhere.
on the absolute cheap. Like,
Oh yeah.
my God, the first time I remember one of my earliest childhood memories as a kid in South Auckland was when you get like get the large fried rice,
Yeah.
which is the size of this board game,
Yeah.
on a silver platter, like from South Mall.
Yeah.
But the same price you'll get for like a punnet here. And I'm like, I'm starting to see why there's an obesity problem in South Auckland.
Yeah.
It's not a cultural thing.
It's a serving thing.
What came first, the cultures or the obese providers? Because food is so. Name a country, name a cuisine. It's there.
Oh yeah.
Like Mexican food. Don't give me Mad Mex. No.
Yeah, Mexicali fresh.
Mexicali fresh, bruh.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesdays.
That's the one thing I miss about Auckland. The night markets were amazing. We used to go and we would always get.
So you went to the North Shore.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There was a Italian stand that did
Italian
the
style.
rice balls.
Mm.
Oh, they were good. And Sophie used to always go on the merry-go-round. They had a merry-go-round there. And sometimes you would go, not all the time. It was really random. The paella people would be there.
With their big cauldron.
And you'll be like, I wouldn't even walk the rest of the market. But no, fuck, this is what I'm having.
Mm-mm.
And I'll be like, give me a big fucking, whatever you can give it to me and that's biggest, I'll take that.
Well, now that we're talking about this international food, like, we're talking about this at home today. The International Food Day in the Square.
Yeah.
When's is usually in
It's usually in March.
Because, man, we're going to go as a family. We want to go as a family this
Yeah.
year. One of us should really Google it. But,
I'll Google it.
well, that was like, that was my dad's favourite day of the year.
Yeah.
My dad knew how to eat, my God. And that was when baby mama at the time, I was working as a travel agent in the mall, in the plaza. And she came in, because I knew that they were all over there, but I was sort of swamped with work. And she came in, she was like, I had the best hot dog in history.
Yeah.
So much so that like dad, mum, Pete, everyone, and you have to, I know you're swamped busy, like, but I'm like, can't you bring them on? She's like, come on now, no.
Yeah.
Like, has to be, and like, okay. She's like, they're Chilean, like,
Okay.
and like had a name to it, and like, holy shit, like it was like guacamole, like salsa, like, just like the red onion, everything, like, and I feel like I haven't been to a good one for a few years in Palmy, like, cause I don't remember that paella rice being there one year. I don't remember the last time I saw those Chilean hot dogs.
Oh, we can just make those for you.
There was a Chilean stand, but it wasn't the same. Like,
Yeah.
what cracked me up was all the Indian tents and all the Indian caravans, because
Yeah.
they all taste so different to each other. That's what Palmy needs, another Indian restaurant.
Oh god, yeah.
Yes, but ours is different. Huh? You can taste the difference. Unless you get butter chicken mild. Like, no.
According to this, it's been.
Oh, of course. Well, there wasn't even one. You know, like a whole gathering of people and whatnot.
Yeah, it was probably cancelled.
Goddamn COVID. How long do you think this, because I barely am social media, like keeping up with social media, let alone media.
Yeah.
What's going on, like, in terms of the cases of COVID? Is it the amount plateauing, or is it increasing by the week?
I heard a little bit of news today, and apparently it's plateauing a little in Auckland, but picking up in other places or whatever. I don't know. It's all still fucked.
Like, can you get, this seems like a real rookie question, but can you get COVID again?
Apparently you can. I didn't know this, but apparently you can get it again.
So it could
Because
we
there's
can just be
different-
sharing it around.
Well, no, I think what they're saying is, like, now it's Omicron, but there could be another variant, and so you could get Omicron and the other variant.
What was the one before? Delta.
Delta, yeah. Yeah.
People like telling me like the symptoms of, like, you know, like you'll know you have COVID with these symptoms, and like all the symptoms for COVID. I'm like, that's just
That's my
another
life.
week.
Yeah, that's my life.
Another week, man. Like, how am I meant to know?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. But I feel like every time we record,
Yeah.
shit's gone down in our lives. Like, you hospitalized.
But that's kind of the point of the podcast.
What's that? Yeah. How do you find? But I feel like when can we not have like some sort of dramatically filled, action-packed week? Like,
Well, let's get Justin on next week.
just like, oh, I haven't really done anything for a few weeks. Like, oh, teach us.
Yeah.
We seem to attract drama.
Shit.
Like, but my thing is, well, one, I'm glad you're better, bro.
Yeah.
And I could feel it in that message that Thursday. That was what, the fifth night.
I was really low.
Yeah, I could feel
really
it,
bad.
and I felt like because I ramped up the messaging when I got home so I could charge my phone.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what can I have no nothing to. I feel I had nothing to offer.
No.
Except
And that's
for,
fair enough because like, what are you gonna do?
Except for my insight, like, because I can like, you know, like trying to vent to someone about migraine pain where they don't know what a migraine is.
Yeah, totally.
Like, but like, so venting to people about hospital stays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard all the shit in the hospital, the food, alright? Like, but then me, like, I know what that life is like.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, hospital stays when Kiana was a lot younger. You know, like, when she was at, like, that real cute age, like 5, 6 years old. Like,
Yeah.
why has Daddy got all these tubes on him?
Yeah.
And, like, and you're saying goodbye,
Mm.
and you don't sleep for the next 12 hours. You're just lying there. You know, and you miss your family.
Yeah.
Above all else. So for you to like sort of come out of it, not having surgery, whatnot, it was just a random one-off thing, which happens.
Yeah.
Like, glad you were on the mend, bro. Like,
Yeah.
because physical ailment sucks.
That Thursday was really hard because I was expecting to go home and they said no.
Dude,
But then they
bro.
wouldn't give me a reason.
No,
They just like, well, what about... So then I like asked the nurse, I was like, I need to know what's going on because I was told I'll probably be home today and now I'm told I'm not. But they didn't give me a reason. They just said, oh, your blood work. And I'm like, that's not good enough. Blah, blah. So in the end, the nurse was really good, she explained. But in the end, like I was really upset and Jen was like, well, I'm coming to see you. So we went down to the cafe and I was literally wiping tears away the whole time. Like, it was really, like, yeah, it was just the whole time.
Do you know what sucks is when that happens, but it's like day by day.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, like, you told me a week ago. Like, can you imagine that conversation with Jen downstairs in the cafe, but 5 days later?
Oh, totally. I mean,
That's
there's a
a
lady
reality.
there. When I was there was a lady that had been there for 50 days.
Fuck.
Yeah. And she's like, I get no visits. Like, no one visits because no one's allowed to.
Yeah.
Because I'm only allowed one visitor and the rest of my family can't come.
Yeah. It's brutal away. Like...
Oh, yeah. It is hard.
Because I know when I told everyone, like, or Mum and Pete was there too, but Mum and Kiana, when you told me, we're all in the kitchen, and I'm like, sad news, Dylan's going to stay another night. They were both gutted.
Yeah.
Because they know, from my experiences, what it's like, because they knew that you were not, like, doing it, like, well up there, and it's like, do we reach out to his wife? I'm like, oh, we'll see how we go. She's she's a machine, like.
Yeah, she was.
But that sucked. Like, and it's not like you had a bit of the sniffles.
No, I was fucking...
Pancreatitis is a real deal. Like, when you see me then, I'm like, I'd rather you got stabbed.
Yeah. At least I can just sew it up.
Yeah, sew it up and carry on. If you didn't stab anything, you just stabbed fat.
Yeah. Like, in all honesty, because I've been in renal failure too, right?
Mm.
And...
Which I didn't know about until about 20 minutes ago when you said it.
So I've had double renal failure on both kidneys.
When was this? Like, is this here in Palmy?
No, this was in Auckland. I was still working at Staples. I honestly can't remember what year it was. I think 2013 or 2014.
I was about to say 2012-ish?
Oh, it might have been, yeah. And
ooh, so you had double renal failure.
So I have this thing where I've had chickenpox twice. So once as a kid and once as an adult. And I've been told I can get it again. So going into that, I got chickenpox, and then that put me into renal failure. So, and that was when I squirted my asshole on the nurse.
So you full on diarrheaed her.
It was her fault.
Yeah.
She would not take what I'm saying as gospel. So she's like, we're going to have to give you an enema to get your bowels moving. And I'm like, I don't think that's the issue. So that time and this time were the only two times I honestly thought I was going to die. Like, it was that bad. I was in so much pain.
Boy, this stint at the hospital, you thought...
On Sunday, when I was at home...
like before
I went, I honestly was like, I'm going to die. This is it. Like, there is no more after this. I thought something had ruptured.
Yeah.
And I was going to bleed out. Like, honestly, it was that bad.
Were you, how was your mental, like if you're feeling like this could be something that leads to you dying, like, do you having any sort of anxiety attacks, panic attacks? Like,
I was panicking. Yeah, I was really worried. And that's when I was like, just call an ambulance.
Did that exasperate? Like, did it make you? Because you're already in a rundown. Your body's already in a rundown state, right?
Yeah.
Did it make things so much harder? Like, that rigmarole of trying to communicate with the receptionist and the A&E
Was
receptionist.
torture.
It's torture every time.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way. If a guy has like a fucking gunshot
Yeah.
through his fucking cheek, through his face,
Well, he would have got the ambulance.
what's your like? Like 3 hours away. I was like, well, I'm just living on Ruahine Street. I'll walk.
Because one of the questions they asked me, the triage nurse, she's
Hate
like,
that's such a horrible.
she's
process.
like, if you're in so much pain, why didn't you call an ambulance? And I literally said, we did. They said for my wife to bring me because it'll be faster.
Yeah.
And
your date of birth,
yeah,
your address. Oh, I've got here like 23.
yeah, that's
Geneva.
exactly
What
it.
is your new address? And you're like,
And your phone number, and I'm going, it hasn't changed. She's like, can you say it? And I'm like,
oh.
and I'm just like,
So you're lying on the bench,
that's the only thing holding me up is this bench.
and she was like, was she initiated? Was she pointing towards the holes? Like, can you just? And
No,
you're
because
like,
there's a hole at the bottom as well.
oh,
for them
it's
to put paper
such
through.
a fucking nightmare, that process. Sometimes you can. Oh,
It was really bad.
you know it's bad if a stubborn cunt like you and I have like admitted, fuck, okay, I gotta go to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's the very I gotta be near dead before I will
yeah.
accept that fucking option. But that means getting in there, that process of trying to talk to that reception at A&E when you're
Yeah.
in genuine sickness and pain and strife is the worst experience. That's one of the worst experiences you'll have for the entire stay at the hospital is that moment.
Yeah,
But you struck it lucky by having a quiet.
day.
I've walked in there
Honestly.
with these people sitting on the floor. It's just
Yeah.
overcrowded, and ambulances are coming in
Yeah.
with like people like, and you're like, times like this, I'm actually glad I've got a
Yeah.
life-threatening condition. Like, excuse me, VIP.
Yeah.
I'm from the
I was
Kuru
lucky.
Club, the
Yeah.
Kuru Lounge,
The Kuru Lounge.
Kuru Lounge of ailments.
Yeah, they know me.
But that sucks.
I was lucky I got there when I did. Because
Yeah,
it got busier while I was in there waiting.
you timed it well,
Yeah, I
and
got
you made
there
the
in
right
window.
decision to go.
Oh,
And
if I'd
obviously-
stayed home,
I didn't
I
realize
don't
that you
know
were
what happened.
thinking about death was, knocking
I
on your
was in
door.
so much pain. I was like, this is what dying feels like. Honestly, like, that's how bad it was. It was excruciating. Like, I couldn't even throw up. And I tried. Because I was like, if I vomit, I'll be better. And I couldn't, like, nothing would come up. And that made it worse and worse. And the kids were crying.
That's the
Yeah.
shittiest.
And I had to keep saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. And I was just sweating, like, just buckets of sweat coming off me. And it was just, all I could do was sit there and wait to go.
Yeah,
And it took, and yeah,
it
so
really
Jen,
shook you to your core by the sounds of it.
oh,
but-
it was terrible. And then when I was lying there in OBS and they told me what was wrong, I was a wee bit relieved, but not. Yeah, he was like, "You're not going to die," and I was like, "Oh,
Mike, that's why my reaction was like surgery,
yeah,
and you're like meds. I'm like it's a more like it's not as severe then. That's
Yeah.
good, but
Well, it's not that it's not as severe as that if it's not your gallbladder, there's nothing they can do.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it's the kind of condition where they're like,
Yes.
well, you just have to get better, or don't. That's your options.
So, okay, I wasn't gonna talk about it. I'm gonna. So something happened. First of all, it was a beautiful moment, a rare moment,
Yeah.
where my mum, my daughter, and I could sit down like at midday. It was a Friday. Like Friday just gone. At midday, we could sit down and have like a home cooked lunch and eat it together without any rushing. We sat down and enjoyed a meal as a small family for lunch on a Friday, midday. And then, so palpitations. I think I messaged this to you. Palpitations. that you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
your- And like lasts 2 to 3 to 4 seconds of stabbing pain, then it just goes away.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that pain constantly for 3 minutes?
Oh yeah. You mentioned this to me.
Well, I've had this heart condition for like before Dad died.
Yeah.
2014, 14, and so what in the last 7-8 years of having this heart condition, I've never experienced this before. So
Yeah.
like I usually get it for up to 10 seconds, but like if I'm feeling like that, because sometimes you can feel it coming, like it slowly starts to ball up. It feels your heart. Like I'll either like go like to the bathroom or my room for something, grimace it out and go back or if it's like 3 to sometimes I can sit here while it's happening and poker face, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you just.
But this one was a bit but the shit thing was I didn't have time to it got bad quick. It was just an instant.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. So for all the times it's happened, my mum and my daughter haven't really. They've seen a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But I try and hide a lot from them. But I couldn't this time. So my daughter next to me, she had 111 on standby.
Yeah.
My mum walked around behind me and she put her hands on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And I was just asking for calm, and then I'm like, put her hand over my heart.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, you could when it goes into these moments, you can feel your heart it's twitching.
Yeah.
It's noticeably it's got cramp or something, and it's the most vulnerable feeling, and because of the heart condition I'm on, I'm on a ticking time bomb. I know that, right? So you have that going, but then 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and it was just getting worse slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when it got to over a minute, then I started everything starts to sound like you're underwater, and everything starts to slowly go grey.
Yeah.
And when it got to about the minute mark, and the pain was now this is bad.
Yeah.
And when my mum put her hand over my chest, she freaked out,
Yeah.
and my daughter had 111 on standby, and I'm like, oh no, I got to have the speech,
Yeah.
because that's how I'm gonna stroke or heart attack.
Yeah.
And like I say, my absolute dream goal in this life is to make the age of 50.
Yeah.
But to be fair, 40 would be a milestone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've cheated, the amount of times I feel like I've cheated death, where when you get told you got this heart condition and you wake up in the middle of the night with this palpitation,
Yeah.
and your immediate thing is to scream out this could be it.
Yeah.
Well, it got to over a minute, and I'm no signs of stroke. This is 100% heart attackville, and this is now it's really when we get cramp in the hands of the calf, or when you get cramp, now it's cramp level pain, but it's only anything moving is my heart.
Yeah.
And my daughter has 111 on standby, and then I'm you guys have to be really calm here.
Yeah.
But we know that this is going to come one day, but I'm telling you now, I'm thinking a heart attack.
Yeah.
A genuine heart attack.
Wow.
And then immediately, Kiana burst into tears.
Yeah.
I'm babe, oh no, not yet. This is the heart attack. I'm do you guys remember what to say when you ring?
Yeah.
We know the drill. We've got an evacuation plan, break the glass thing.
Yeah.
And immediately, my daughter, just screamed out. She's I'm babe, your dad's got about a minute.
Yeah.
So remember, in my NHI number, what to say to the 111, because then the ambulance will light up and they'll get here.
Yeah.
Double speed.
Yeah.
Because it's a critical case. And then I slowly started blacking out.
Yeah.
And again, the comedic side of me, the morbid side of me, I was looking at my plate of food. I got homemade lunch, right? Only 3 or 4 forkfuls in, and I could see a couple of flies on my food.
You're
and I'm
damn it.
I was slowly, my face was slowly going towards the table. I'm you sons of bitches. I couldn't help but think that. I was drooling because I couldn't talk. I couldn't, my cognitive, my physical processes are going.
Yeah.
And then now Mum and Kiana realised the severity, and, it just hit home when you said, when your kids were are you okay?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately my daughter's seen a few moments like this.
Yeah.
But when because I don't panic.
Yeah.
So many times where from the outset this looks bad, but I know no, this is bad, but it's not the worst. Panic when we're at the worst.
Yeah.
And then slowly you'll come right again. I'm
Yeah.
don't need to ring the ambo, but when I'm calmly saying this is not a drill. Do we remember what to say to the people, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Remember the will and testament with the lawyer.
Yeah.
In case I don't wake up. So now it's not, am I going to have a heart attack or not? Now you're I'm about to have a heart attack. Am I going to survive it? And you have that about 30 seconds to a minute of that in your head, but you can't. I couldn't talk or anything, and the pain was now my left arm was aching, and I'm oh no, classic signs. I was in AF. So my heart went into atrial fibrillation.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm just like calm because I can't even breathe in deeply because
Yeah.
it's like pressure on the chest and the heart, so like really
Yeah.
soft breathing, and then it slowly went away
Yeah.
over like so that 10 minute that was terrifying, and then my mum's pretty tough,
Yeah.
sweetest lady you would ever meet, but
Yeah,
she won't
totally.
cry in front of you.
Yeah.
She went in the kitchen, and my daughter went to her room, but then she went round the long way, sent her through the dining room where I was sort of just composing myself.
Yeah.
And then I just hear my daughter and my mum bawling their eyes out in the kitchen, like
Yeah.
hugging each other. Like they thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to, so like, I was going to just, we don't have to talk about everything. Like, I was going to tell you privately, but hearing you talk about the whole, there's a point where you're like,
This could be it.
yeah, that's a fucking hell. I don't know, like it leaves a scar behind. Like, I don't know how to describe this. Like, where you have a legitimate moment where you're like
Yeah.
when I was jumping out of that car.
Yeah.
On the train tracks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honk, honk. Like, you're not completely lost in the moment. Like, and you could die here.
Yeah.
Like, I've had the moments like that where, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I overreacting?
Mm.
No. And then now, like, death is like a serious
Mm.
option. Is that one of the first times how did you,
No, the first time I had it was when I had the renal failure.
so is this the second time?
This is the second time.
In about a decade.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
did you,
Yeah.
How
About
did you
decade.
deal with it at the time, and how are you after that? Because they shouldn't be glazed over. That's some
Well,
traumatizing shit.
When I had the renal failure, the main thing I remember was I couldn't stop walking. So the house we lived in at the time was kind of like the one we're in now, where you sort of had a small kitchen, but you could loop the house, if you know what I mean. Like from, our house now, you can go down the hallway from the kitchen, around back to the lounge and loop it. So our house was like that, and I kept looping through, and I was in so much agony. And Jen's like, sit down. And I remember the words I said to her, if I sit down, I'm going to die. Like, I was like, if I keep moving, I'm okay. And so that was really scary. And that time, I drove myself, because Jen had the kids. I think Sophie was really little then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this is
Yeah.
10 years later.
Maybe Gabby was born.
With, like...
Yeah, Gabby was born, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, Gabby was still breastfeeding. Like, she was little. Less than one. So, yeah, I drove myself in, which is why the nurse didn't believe it was more than tummy problems.
So give it 10 years later. Now
So
you're in the
this
kitchen
time,
on a Sunday.
The pain was just as bad, but it was a different type of pain. So this was more like... Because like I said, I woke up and I thought someone had kicked me. So that's what it felt like at first. By the time I got to the hospital, it felt like someone had stabbed me.
Yeah.
Like, it was that bad. It was
I
just...
understand, yeah.
Yeah, complete 100% pain. And... Yeah, I was sitting in, like, the chairs we're sitting on now, these were the type of chairs, like we have them in our dining room as well. And I'm literally sitting on it in the middle of the kitchen holding the bowl. And I'm like, I was actually quite... I was kind of like, if I go, I go. It won't hurt anymore.
The fact that that's even thoughts in you, like,
Yeah.
it's going through your head, like...
Oh, it was really like that. It was like, the pain was so bad, I was welcoming it. I was
And
like,
on top of that...
I won't hurt anymore, and that's all that matters.
And about it, and you had this... It was because, like, was it like deja vu from going through the
Oh,
same
yeah.
sort of pain from the...
Jen thought it was my kidneys again.
Yes.
Honestly, she did. But I was like, no, the pain is different. It's in a different place.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so that was really scary. But
Yeah, that is...
the other thing that was
terrifying.
different was, like, when you know this, when you go into renal failure, you can't go to the loo. You can't wee. I was weeing fine. That was never
That
an
was a
issue.
telltale sign that the
It
kidneys
wasn't
are
my
okay.
kidneys. Yeah, and the fluid was the right colour.
Yeah, so you...
Because that was, when I woke up in
If
the pain...
anything, did that exasperate your worry more?
Yeah,
Like, now it's
oh,
the
way
unknown?
more. Yeah, I honestly thought something...
'Cause-
Like, I had undiagnosed stomach cancer, my stomach just exploded. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And the stabbing, the doctor told me later, the reason it felt like you were stabbed is because your pancreas was eating itself. because your pancreas was blocked. The acid for your stomach can't get out. So what happens is it just sits there and it just starts burning. And that's what the pain is.
That is a graphic.
Yeah. And so, like, now that I've had scans and they're like, it's okay, it's not very damaged, you'll be fine, blah, blah, blah.
But
it could come back.
Again, having that, like, narrative in your head, like, I think I'm going to die here.
Yeah. I did. I wasn't thinking about, like, I just thought, this is it, this is how I'm going to die, in the kitchen, like, holding a bowl.
Dry reaching,
yeah.
At least have something, some fruits of your labour, have some vomit in there.
I could at least shit my pants.
Yeah, something.
Couldn't even do that.
Go out with some sort of, like, bodily liquid.
And I was just blowjob would have been nice first, but...
I don't think...
No, that wasn't mine. I was thinking the complete opposite.
Well, dude, I was pissed off that flies were on my food. I think that's what kept me alive.
When you got down, did you not just let us go, fuck?
No, I don't know if you heard me, but I was dribbling. I couldn't even, barely breathe. But afterwards, so obviously to break the crying in the room, I said that, this is the worst thing. While I'm, but I think I ripped a bit of, Alanis Morissette, isn't it ironic?
Yeah.
It's like... like it's a black fly in your Chardonnay, it's a death row pardon. But people need to realize that having a close call with death can cause trauma and PTSD are highest of levels.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with my brother literally this afternoon about that incident, and that's why it's fresh in my... I'm like, did Mum and Kiana... He's like, that must be what Kiana was going to tell me on the weekend something, but then she's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I told him, and he's like, fuck, man, these stories never get... But I said to him, but here's the morbid thing, is these things have happened so many times.
It's just part of the day.
Yeah. It's
sad, eh?
But it sucks hearing it from some... you have to keep reminding yourself when people talk about the ailments and the medication they take and the illnesses. Don't compare adversity. This is hard for... you were there one day, at one point, and hearing you talk about... choking back tears, talk about, how you were thinking about, if you're going to survive or not with your kids around you.
Yeah.
That is a mind fuck. I have to remind myself that's not the norm, Kels, because you go through that every few months or the last few years. And I feel like not many people, amongst our peer group, friend social circle, have had that feeling where you actually think you're going to die. Yeah. Not from a car crash or anything, from health related reasons.
Yeah. And that quick.
And in that level of pain that no words can truly describe. That level of pain and fear, that is, I feel like I'm self-soothing in here for me selfishly, because I've never really talked about this out loud, but actually saying out loud, admitting to myself, this shit that's not normal. No. But it was hearing it through your voice, hearing you talk about it made me realize, I don't know, when you hear it through the voice of someone else you care about, it sort of hit home for me. Yeah. When it comes to me, I'm trying to love myself more and more, but really, I'm down that list of priorities still. Yeah. But when you hear it from someone you care about, talk about their experience, that actually hit me pretty hard. But as we say on this podcast, fish and chip paper, baby. Yep. It's yesterday's news.
Yep. Should we wrap this up? Because I'm ready to go inside. I'm getting uncomfortable.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well,
today's day 2 without any painkillers.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it's still touch and go.
I'm just glad you're back, bro.
Me too. I was so glad to be home.
I think for me, before you jump, pack some clothes. Turns out you don't need to show your ass to the world. That you found out 2 days later.
My before you jump, now that I know, is butter up to the orderlies.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Before you jump, fucking pack some clothes, because those gowns are for suckers. And orderlies are your friends if you want to eat like a boss at the hospital.